Miami Heat, Denver Nuggets down in Florida. And I got Jamal Murray talking about Game 4. Let's hear what he had to say. Go ahead. He went on to say, I apologize to those who feel like my triple-double was fugazi. I happen to agree with you that it was a fugazi triple-double.
No, it was not. No, it was not.
If the NBA, pardon me, fellas, I'm reading. Okay. If the NBA would like to take away my triple-double or put an asterisk next to it, I would have no problem with that because it was a very selfish play on my part, and Mike Malone should not have curried favor to me, even though I'm a superstar. He should have pulled me out of the game, despite the fact that Miami cut the lead to 9 in the last 2 minutes. We were not going to lose that game. All right, in any event, let's get into Game 4.
He did not say that. And he did not say that.
He did not.
And you should stop that.
Okay, fair enough.
Stop putting words in people's mouths.
Take that belt off.
Yes.
Voicemail later. Huh? Okay. All right, so let's talk about the combination, though, right?
Yes.
One of the things they do really well that Miami could not stop, and really no one stops it with any kind of success game after game, is that pick and roll.
Yes.
So why don't you walk us through some of that, Timmy, and what they do and why it's so hard to stop?
Before we run the tape, he's exactly right. What he's saying, it's fun to play that way. When you're coming down and you just reacting to what the defense gives you and you playing off the defense and understanding that they have been played all different type of defense, pick and roll defense, zone defense, a man-to-man defense, but they understand how to counter. And when they counter, it's normally a really, really good shot. I mean, he has unbelievable sight. He has great skill, and he has a great touch around the rim.
And also, when he's in the paint, as you saw in the first basket there, he made one basket lefty,
right,
and he makes the other ones naturally, just shooting righty. So he's got the ability. If you're trying to overplay his right hand because of his size, he'd also go up from 8-9 feet and make it lefty.
He could do it both ways. And,
it's funny. Like, you had an experience, I think, in your career with Alonzo Mourning.
Of course.
Right? Similar kind of thing where a lot of it's unspoken, right?
It's unspoken.
You get to a level where these guys are at,
yes,
which is hard to appreciate, which you can only get to playing together.
Yep.
Right? Where I don't need to tell you to spin off. You don't need to tell me to go left or right. It's an unspoken bond, yeah? So here's what I don't get. A lot of the plays you're showing us, the pick that Jokic sets, he sets so that Butler switches off and winds up guarding him, which is an obvious mismatch, just size-wise in the lane, right?
Right.
What I'm trying to figure out watching this, when you taught us in Game 2, and you showed us what Miami did really successfully, was Bam never left Jokic.
Right.
And made him work to even get open to get a pass.
Right.
He fronted him a lot. It was very physical, right? And in these clips, it seems like they're not even attempting that.
No. Well, Murray is coming off harder, and he's coming off like he's going to the hole. And so if Bam doesn't pick him up, he gets easy shots.
Right.
So when Jokic sets that screen, and he's going to set a screen on you, and when he sets that screen, you get caught. Bam has to take you. They have to switch. And when you
switch. But as soon as you switch.
As soon as you switch.
That's it.
But yeah, that's it. But, like I said before, what they was doing, what Denver was doing in Game 2 that they didn't do in Game 3, they held the ball. They was looking. They was indecisive. They never got the ball to the right place. In Game 3, they got it out of their hands. They got it to the right person at the right time. If he didn't make a decision, if he didn't pass, he was in for a layup or shoot. So they was giving to their playmakers with Murray and Jokic, and they made all the plays. They made all the correct plays, but they was decisive with those plays.
I mean, it seems pretty obvious what Miami's got to do, but it's obviously easier said than done.
Yes.
And then, of course, the question is going to be asked, if Murray and Joker give you the type of performance they gave you in Game 3, does Jimmy Butler have another one in him? Maybe not fair to ask of him because he's still averaging mid-20s, but he's now got to have one of those games where he's the best player on the planet and gives you 30-plus points and has a triple-double of his own.
Yes.
Because he's taken advantage of defensively. Well, you just showed us on the pick and roll. And then beyond that, he has not offensively done what he did in the series against Milwaukee, in one game against Boston, and a little bit against the New York Knicks. Like, we need a 25-shot, 30-point game out of Jimmy Butler, don't we?
But yeah, we do. But you know what? Give credit to the Denver Nuggets. They putting long bodies on them. Aaron Gordon is long. Christian Brown is long. Jermichael Green is long.
Right.
Michael Porter Jr. is long. These guys are like 6'7", 6'8", 6'9". Jimmy Butler is really 6'6", 6'7". and you know with them long arms and how they move and position their defense,
he can't get a shot.
He can't get a clean shot. Sometimes he can, sometimes he can't. He gets, the advantage. But most of the time, you shooting over long arms, athletic arms,
right,
that can jump, that stand down on your pump fake. They understand, they pay attention to detail, because after every time he dribbles, he pump fakes in the lane, they stand down and they getting big and tall and making them shoot over them. And that's what you have to do as a team. You got to understand what guys like to do and take that away.
Miami getting no respect yet again today. It's game 4 of the series, and they're at home, and they got to win this game where we all agree it's a wrap, and they are underdog yet again. No respect at all there, Greg Jennings. No respect.
Yeah, because the Denver Nuggets are playing that well. Yeah. We see how effective their two-headed monster is with Jokic and Murray, and I truly believe it does not matter how great Bam and Jimmy play. If the others don't step up in historic fashion, they're not beating this team. Like, for me, the way that the Denver Nuggets made the adjustments. Now, we've seen Miami and they're supposed to make adjustments, but the way that the Nuggets made the adjustments in Game 3, making sure that they got the ball where they wanted it, that's what the Miami Heat has to do with Jimmy. His distinct advantage is on Murray. He can he can out-physical him, he can get where he wants, he can shoot over the top. If they don't focus on that and allow him to make plays and he be decisive as well, then I don't see them winning another game in the series.
But hold on, but you got to understand, Murray is not sticking him. He only switch off on him at times, and at times, though, I mean, it could be one time out of 15 possessions. It's always Gord.
That's my point.
Right.
But you gotta force that issue to where you get that switch that you want on Murray, so that your best offensive player can now dictate what they do offensively.
Well, it comes back to the other guys too. They got to make shots, and if they make shots, then that forced them to switch.
Hey there, thank you so much for watching the Carton Show. You can subscribe right here to get all the latest bits and segments from the show. And by the way, while you're at it, we have a lot of great shows on FS1, so check them out too.